What is up, everyone? So today is a very exciting day, not just because my new lift is up with my S14 on it. Yes, that is very exciting. If you didn't see the video, you're probably confused, go watch it. But today we get to work on the K-Series swap in the S14 and we get to finish something up. So when tackling an engine swap in a car, I like to kind of take things in systems and tackle a system at a time, because then it kind of makes it more manageable, makes it feel a little less overwhelming. And well, today, the system I get to finish up is the drivetrain. So by the end of the day, we will have the drivetrain fully hooked up. So we got a couple goodies to install on the car today, and I'm excited. So I could definitely do some more talking, but I feel like we should get right to work. So first piece of the puzzle is my Kouki factory shifter. We saw this thing a couple months ago, and I'm gonna show it again. Now, this is a chassis mount style shifter for our swap right here. So this is kind of like how we do on the BMWs. This plate bolts to the chassis itself. This connects to the transmission, and then we have this nice, tight, smooth linkage with a beautiful build quality that looks super dope to, I guess, attach us to the transmission, right? And don't mind my skin deteriorating. Got pretty bad sunburn in Florida. So the reason why we have to run a chassis mount style shifter on this car is the fact that the trans works a little bit differently. The Nissan trans, the shifter sticks right out of the transmission itself. So for the BMW trans, we just have this little nub right here, and it actually pulls in and out of the back of the trans. So it shifts gears by pulling in and out and rotating this nub itself. And then we have a rod that is attached to the chassis and uses the chassis as the pivot point to then select the gears. All right, so as you can see, we just have this big ass hole for our shifter right here, and there's just a little lip right here. Has a groove in the bottom to account for that lip, and it honestly just kind of clicks into place. Look at that. Honestly, Kouki Factory killed it on that piece. All right, now let's hook up the bottom. So all we have to do is take our selector rod and slip it onto the factory nub, or whatever the technical term is. Right there. So check it out. So solid. Now, as you can see, I put a bolt and a nylon nut on there. Kit comes with a really nice piece. I lost it, so this will do for now. All right, so the last thing we need to do to actually hook up the drivetrain is throw in the drive shaft, which I already have. But there's one thing I want to do before we do so, and that is actually change out the differential. So as you can see here, I have the factory S14 diff. I guess you can't tell me looking at it, but yes, it is the original 408 open diff, and we can't be having that. So there's two things that's wrong with it. One is an open diff, that's no fun. And two, the 408 is a little high of a gearing. So since this transmission came out of a BMW, we're gonna be working on a different set of gears here. Now bear with me for a second, because there's a little bit of talking that has to be had, but if you guys don't really know much about gear ratios, don't worry about it, because before I got into drifting, I never really thought about it either. But essentially, the higher the number you hear in the rear, the shorter the gears feel, which could be great because it could put a little pep in your step. It can make your car feel a little quicker, makes it feel like it hits a little harder, but then you're losing out on top end speed. So you kind of have to balance that right there. Since the E36 and my E30 essentially have the same transmission that's in the Kouki, I have a very good idea of what I like for gear ratio in terms of my driving style. Now the E30 doesn't make that much power, so I have a higher gear ratio, 373, and it makes it feel real zippy, quick, and I love it. But street driving, it's a little obnoxious because I have to shift a lot, and the highway is just not very much of an option. The E36 has about a 343 in it, I believe. I don't know 100%, but it's around there. But it makes a lot more power, and so it feels perfect, and I could drive this thing on the highway and it's not screaming. So the closer I can get to a 350, the happier I'll be. So obviously the Nissan 408 is a little much, but I do have a 6-speed transmission in this, where those are 5-speed, so that extra gear really does help. So that's where this comes in. All right, so I got really lucky with this diff because it literally popped up for sale like 4 days ago from one of my friends, and I had to snatch it. Now, it's not my 100% ideal diff for this car, but it's awesome in many ways, and it'll get us going, and it'll give us some time to piece together exactly what we want for the car, but this will definitely do in the meantime. So there's 4 awesome things about it. 2 you could actually see. First off, it's an ABS diff, which means it comes with a speed sensor in the diff itself, right here. Which is huge because usually Nissan gets a speed sensor from the transmission, and since we have a BMW trans, we don't have one in there, so we need some source of speed pickup so our cluster will work. Then second, we have an oversized cover, which is really nice because this allows it to have almost a whole extra half quart, has some cooling fins on it, a lot better than the factory dumpy looking cover right here. Now the other 2 things that make this thing dope, you can't really see, but well, take my word for it. First thing is it has a 3.9 gear ratio in it versus a 408. Now it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the 408. So there's a bunch of other Nissans we could steal the ring gear out of, but they're a little kind of pain in the ass to source. So in the meantime, this will definitely get us going until we could piece together the exact gearing that we want. And then the last thing that is super dope is it actually has a really dope LSD in it, and that is a CAZ two-way. Now, if you guys know what that is, it's a little aggressive for a street car. It's definitely more of what I consider like a drifting diff, but I got a really good deal on it. It's a really nice diff. It'll get the car going. It's a lot better than an open diff. It's a lot better than like a worn out factory LSD, and it's honestly gonna feel amazing. So the only thing I have to do to put this thing in is let's take the cover off, reseal it, and shove it in the car. Look at these guys. What's up, kids?
Dude, PM coffee. That's how we do.
Coffee.
What do you think? You haven't seen it since the list been up.
It looks great.
Isn't it cool?
It's sick.
Steve, what do you think?
It looks weird.
Dude, I really like it. And it's funny because every time I'm here, this place is different. Like the last time I was here, this wasn't here.
That's always the goal, right?
This is neat. Yeah. Progress. We've done the progress.
Good location though, right?
Great location for both of them. You know, because like cars in the air always looks cool.
It does
and
look
nothing
dope.
in here is like complete trash. Like you go in some shops and it's just like
He says complete trash.
well, you know what I mean?
You see this bad mamma jamma right here?
It looks like you're having fun.
Yeah, it's a great
No,
time.
the problem is when you get covered in that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the smell of it makes me want to vomit.
That thing looks
It's
crazy.
bad.
That thing is beefy. Where are the welds going?
It's very exciting, you know, putting the cover back on a diff, but all the RTV in the world to seal this thing up. There we go. So if you guys watched yesterday's video, you saw I bought two lifts, one for my shop and one for the other shop. I mentioned that I forgot to measure the ceiling before I ordered it like a rookie, and well, this is a moment of truth.
There's one way to do it, and it's gonna work. It's gotta work.
That ain't fitting in here.
And it's gonna fit. It's not.
I don't know in what world you think this is gonna fit.
Measured it. I measured it.
That's half the
we
problem.
have 2
Yeah,
inches.
he measured
Yeah.
We
it.
have
Wiggle that thing over here. I guarantee you it's not gonna fit. I'm gonna watch.
This is terrible.
I'm sorry.
Let it fall.
Yeah.
Are you helping?
Stop, dude, I'm trying to pull it down and you're holding it.
Are you helping?
Ceilings are deceiving. I thought these were way taller.
No, go.
This is unreal.
I was leaning on the roof
Stop
of the fork truck
fighting.
and then reassess my...
What is that?
Let it down! Let it go of it a little bit.
Well, before we could lay this thing up, something popped up that you don't see every day. An NSX towing half an NSX. It's probably one of the craziest things I've ever just seen pull up.
That thing is silly.
Silly.
So good.
In the coolest way.
In the coolest way possible. Matching Meister's carbon Meister.
Check this out. Check that out. This is a full like camper on top.
Yeah, I think they have like a with the dog driving shot.
Oh, what's up, pup?
He told me he wants to take this thing cross country with his dog.
Yeah. Because I think he used to have the camper on top of it.
This one.
And already did a whole tour with it.
That's crazy.
That's it. That is goals. He just like kind of finished it up enough that he got it through inspection today. So this thing is now a legal trailer.
Oh yeah, I'll be putting a window there and bead rolling everything.
Yeah, you still got a lot of work to do, huh?
Yeah, and I gotta put an aluminum brake down there and bend it.
You still gonna color match the front?
Yeah, I'm gonna color match the front. I think I'm gonna try to cut a foot off of the tongue weight.
Okay. I wish you could like legally sit back here because I would love to just go for a cruise in the back of this
I
thing.
put seats in there and I brought my friends around the neighborhood a few times.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
let's do that. You filmed this whole thing on your YouTube channel though, right?
Yeah, I've documented the entire build.
There you go. Send me the link so we can put in the description.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will.
so they can check it out.
Yeah, I
so.
made a whole playlist of like how to build a trailer
From another car.
in case anybody wants to do it, you know. Actually, I've had people message me saying, "Oh, now I know what to do with my CRX."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. How mad was the NSX community seeing you cut up a car?
One guy threatened to stab me.
So how did you find this thing?
Sorry, what's that?
How did you find that back half?
So I wanted to build a trailer
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning. So finding a good candidate for that was hard.
I can imagine.
And then I found the entire shell, and the guy, I only wanted the rear clip, and he's like, we'll take the whole shell.
Oh my God.
And so it actually hurt the whole process because I got it home, and then I started thinking, oh, I could turn this into a track car.
Yeah, exactly.
It had been totaled twice, 2 times.
Wow.
In the front and the rear, so it was issued the 2 salvage titles, and you can't.
Oh my God.
So you can't rebuild it the second time. So the only way to save it was to really get it cut in half or build a track car. But I ran the numbers for building a track car.
Trailer. Hey Steve, we should do a 240 trailer.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. There's plenty of ones out there that we can cut up.
Yeah, down. And fun fact, Nissan had OEM hitches back in the day.
Oh, exactly.
We're gonna have to find one. Call up your boys, nissanparts.cc. Let's get it.
Oh man. Let's see this thing. Oh yes, it's color matched. It's color matched. Oh my, no way.
That literally took 40 seconds.
That was literally post up real quick.
That is insane.
I've been trying to teach him to climb the ladder. It's cost me a couple pounds of beef jerky already. I got him to go in once.
Oh my God.
Throw him in it.
So good. I'm so happy that matches. No way. Not happening.
not happening.
It's not happening.
Oh no, we got room.
Where? Trust me, I don't want to order another one, but it's not gonna fit.
You don't think so?
No, it's not. It's not even close, dude.
How's that look now?
It's falling. Oh my gosh, I thought it was falling.
You can't fall. These things are so bottom heavy that they're not gonna fall over.
You want to test that theory?
Yeah. So 6,
8,
barely. No.
8,
7.
8.
That's exactly what the other one is.
Exactly 7. Well, measure twice, buy once. Just so I don't look like a complete idiot. So Benpack, for their 7K lifts, they only have the Grand Prix, which are really skinny, and that's why I liked it, because it's not that wide right here. If we go with like a normal 10K lift, the posts are real thick and it takes up room real quick. So they only offer the Grand Prix in the low ceiling or the tall ceiling application. We kind of were stuck ordering this and crossing our fingers, and clearly we came up just an inch or so short. It looks like we're gonna get the low ceiling edition, which is fine. Instead of having the max rise that I need, the max rise of the post is about 68 inches, which isn't bad because that's 5'8", and
I'm 5'8".
You're 5'8". Everyone around here is 5'8".
5'8".
So for a DJ, it'll be perfect. It'll fit in here great. It'll be the nice width that we need to fit, you know, both cars in here comfortably. And it'll work out. This way, I'll throw this in my shop, and I'm not complaining too heavily because it's always great to have another lift in your shop. Just gotta spend a couple more G's, but we'll get you right. We'll get you a good one.
It's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever worked on your back? It sucks. Any lift is better than no lift.
Yeah, and I know a lot of guys will suggest the no top lifts, but there's always a big hump in the middle. It's not gonna work for these low ass cars.
Absolutely not.
For now, Donnie, sorry about the lift, but let's get back to work.
It is what it is.
You're probably laughing at me like, Jimmy, you're working on a lift. Why are you on the ground? Well, these divs are really heavy. I'm not trying to drop this thing on my toes, so.
Are you calling me weak?
Yeah.
Calling me weak, Steve?
Yeah, I think he's calling you weak.
So get the axles out of the way first. That usually helps.
Yep, all right.
All right, dudes, lower it down.
Send her down, kiddo.
Nice and slow, like.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go around this axle.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Watch your arm.
Pull it out. Throw in studs in the diff because 1, it's stronger, and 2, it makes it a lot easier to seat in the car. So we got 1 in already. Get the 2 nuts together, and then use that to then tighten this into the casing. Break it off. And we're ready to party. As I throw the nuts on the ground.
Way easier with 2 other people.
Oh yeah.
It's always better with 2 other dudes, you know?
There. Woo, look at that. This is the smoothest diff install in the history of
That was
diff
too
installs.
easy.
Oh my god, that was too easy.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, take it out and try
Take it
again.
out.
That was too good.
Turn the difficulty up.
Final piece of the puzzle, so the drivetrain is fully connected, is going to be the drive shaft. Now, it is a BMW Trans, so they do this a little bit differently, just like everything else. So, if you look right here, there is a 3-bolt flange, and I have this big aluminum piece bolted to it. So usually there's a guibo there, which is basically like this rubber bushing dampener that goes between the trans and the drive shaft, right? It's like a noise
It's like an
shock.
isolator.
It's an isolator, right? So usually we have that piece and then there's another 3-bolt flange that attaches to that, and that's OEM. But since we're going to a Nissan diff and everything and we're putting power through it, things are a little bit differently. So Toge Factory sells this plate that actually bolts onto where the Guivo would go and converts into a typical 4-bolt flange like the average like diff flange, right? All we have to do first is torque this thing on, get this thing torqued up.
Make sure that's tight.
Make sure it's tight. All right. Isn't this thing gnarly?
It's like a Mack truck.
Yeah, that's Girth Brooks.
So look at, so on both ends it's like a diff flange, right? On both sides, which is great. Big, thick aluminum shaft, which is fantastic. It's nice and light. It's great for street use. And then right here, as you can tell, there's kind of like it's almost like a compression bushing right here. So almost every factory drive shaft you see has some type of form of compression to it. And well, this is their way of getting around it, is this little piece right here. So since it isn't a slip yoke transmission.
About the same height. Here, I'll trade you.
All right.
Look at this little guy. I got a keychain.
What do you think about it?
Very light. What's it made out of? Aluminum, right?
Titanium.
Same height. Beep it. Which one are you going for first?
You pick. Oh man.
It's too short.
Is it too short?
It's too short.
It's too short.
It is.
How is that so that's a lot too short. Huh.
Get the tape measure out. Measure the diff.
Interesting. Okay, look how big of an idiot I am. As I was literally just talking about it. Right? Built-in slip yoke. So we should be more than good there. There's that extra inch that we needed. All right, so it looks like the drive shaft is long enough. I'm just an idiot. And the Toge Factory products are just really badass. Every part of this kit so far has just been amazing. That'll do. Steve, you got the rear?
Yeah. Always bringing it up from the rear, boys.
Big beefy shaft. Pause. What are you guys doing?
He keeps trying to like.
You guys playing tag under
He
the
keeps
lift?
trying to do like one slight pan over me, so I'm trying to slightly walk behind him.
Look at that.
I kind of got dizzy from that.
It's like it was made for it.
Oh, what have thought? Look at that, boys.
Not you 10 minutes ago.
Look at that, boys. We officially have a connected drivetrain. I'm missing a bolt too, but the drivetrain is fully connected.
Let's take this thing for a spin.
Ready? Taking it for a spin.
Oh, there we go.
First spin.
First spin.
Title of today's
Steve
video.
took it for the first spin.
Big ride's great.
From the crank pulley to the wheel hubs, this thing is now connected. That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, don't spin the drive shaft in the video. The axles don't spin.
Oh, I didn't put the axle nuts in yet. I have a tight timeline tonight.
They don't have to know.
They don't have to know. RJ, spin the axles for me. No. All right, so maybe not the most eventful video, but we did get the drivetrain hooked up, which is huge because now at this point, everything we do is just to get the engine running, right? Because all the mechanical linkage stuff is hooked up, which is amazing. Of course, all the Toge Factory stuff is beautiful. So today we're gonna cut it short because it is Jip's birthday. So we have a surprise dinner for him. So of course, guys, we all love Jip. Go shoot him a DM on Instagram, wish him happy birthday because he really deserves it. And well, we're gonna go and have some dinner and celebration. So first time using the lift, love it in this location. This is huge, such a great addition to the shop. I am absolutely in love with it, especially being able to work on my K-Swapped S14 on it. This is just literally a dream come true. I feel really bad the lift doesn't fit in DJ's shop. We ordered it, just really hoping it would fit, and it's just too tight. So we're gonna order him up the lower one. It'll work great. It'll be perfect in there, and then we'll have another lift for in here or something, and we'll figure it out. It'll all work out, and it'll be great. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.